Paramshanti, welcome to our channel Bapuji Dasrath Bhai Patel. Today's discussion is on the topic of how was Earth formed. Anandji is saying, Paramshanti Bapuji, welcome to today's discussion. Today we have brought a new set of questions regarding our Earth and its creation. According to science, Earth was created 4.6 billion years ago and universe was created 13.4 billion years ago. According to our scriptures, the name Prithvi was coined after the name of King Prithu, who was the last king of the planet Earth in Satya Yuga. In Sanskrit, Prithvi means vast land. So, Bapuji, what would you like to say about this? And how long ago did Earth come into existence? Bapuji is saying, in order to understand the creation of this Earth, one has to first understand when this Brahmand was created. Brahmand means solar system. So, one needs to understand the time of this solar system. As per our scriptures, the stipulated age of our Brahma is 100 years. Till date, Brahma's half-life has been completed. That is, this solar system has completed 50 years of Brahma. 50 years of Brahma is called Pararth. 100 years of Brahma is divided into two Pararths. At present, first Pararth of Brahma has been completed and second Pararth is running. The current time is 28th Yugantar of 7th Manvantar of first day of second Pararth of Brahma. That means already 6 Manvantars and 27 Chaturyugas of first day of second Pararth of Brahma have been completed. One day of Brahma comprises 1000 Chaturyugas or Yugantars. 71 Yugantar equals to 1 Manvantar. So, it's been 198 crore Earth years of second Pararth. If we calculate the time period of first 50 years, that is, first Pararth of Brahma in terms of human years, then it's a huge number. We know 1 day of Brahma equals to 1000 Yugantars or Chaturyugas on Earth. 1 Yugantar or Chaturyuga comprises total time period of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga on Earth. So, 1 Yugantar is 4,320,000 years on Earth. 1000 Yugantar equals to 4,320,000,000 years on Earth, which is 1 day of Brahma. There are 14 Manvantars in 1 day of Brahma. Similarly, 1 night of Brahma equals to 4,320,000,000 years on Earth. So, 1 day and night of Brahma equals to 8,640,000,000 human years. Therefore, 100 years of Brahma equals to 311,040,000,000,000 years on Earth. In order to understand how this Earth came into existence, we must first understand how this solar system was created. Initially, when our solar system or Brahmand was created, then there was no Earth. So, for up to 10 years of Brahma, which is about 31,104,000,000,000 human years, there was no requirement for creation of Earth. So, what was the necessity for creation of this Earth? To understand the need for the creation of Earth, we need to understand the procedure of creation of our Brahmand. The creator of our solar system, that is our Brahmand, is Nirakari Shiva, that is, incorporeal form of Shiva, who is also known as Param Brahma Parameshwar, or Brahma as per our scriptures, and he resides in Paramdham or Supreme Abode. The incorporeal Shiva has divine light or Paramprakash in him. He naturally desires for creation to use his power of divine light and creates his Prakriti. Through the power of thought or Sankalp, he creates the solar system or Brahmand. So, the incorporeal Shiva thought of a creation. Then he acquired a form or a shape which is known as Akari Shiva. Akari Shiva then created his nature or Prakriti from within himself through his thought power, whom we call Akari Shakti. This way, Akari Shiva Shakti was created from the divine light of incorporeal Shiva. The combined divine form of Shiva and Shakti is called Ardhanarishwar, which also denotes combined form of Prakriti and Purush. The combined form of Shiva Shakti, that is Ardhanarishwar form, then created Vishnu through their thought power. Furthermore, Vishnu created his Prakriti, Lakshmi, through his Sankalp. The combined form of Lakshmi Narayan is Vishnu, who has 4 hands. From the navel of Vishnu, Brahma was then created. Again, Brahma created 7 rishis called Saptarishis through his thought power. These Saptarishis are represented by 7 stars in the sky. With the power of thoughts, Saptarishis then created Param Purush, similar to their own image. So initially, the creation was extremely pure. The Param Purush created by Saptarishi had body of supreme elements and soul of divine light. Saptarishis further performed many such creations and made 7 lokas in the solar system. But initially the creation was very pure and Param Purush created were high quality souls. Anandji is asking, so that means Earth was not created at that time. Bapuji is answering, Earth was not required at that time because the entire creation was composed of supreme elements. Souls were of supreme elements. There was no necessity of Earth. Anandji is saying, people have understanding that Saptarishis created all their creations on Earth. Bapuji is saying, it's not like that. Saptarishis created Param Purush. These Param Purush are also called Farishta. Each Param Purush created their own Param Prakriti or supreme nature from within themselves as per their desire through the power of their Sankalps. Later on, Farishtas also performed multiple creations. Then gradually, the soul power of Farishtas declined due to innumerable creation and hence souls degenerated. Anandji is saying, Bapuji, did these multiverses, universes and other Brahmans exist at that time? Bapuji is answering, our solar system, a Brahmand, is a very small unit in comparison to the size of our galaxy, universe or multiverse. People might wonder why our Brahmand is not called universe, but if we refer to our scriptures, add all the distances of 7 lokas given in yojans and expressed in modern scientific terms, the diameter of our Brahmand is hardly 1 light year. Anandji is saying, yes Bapuji, you have already explained about it in detail in the beginners playlist of our videos. But for now, we will discuss on why Earth was created and Saptarishis who were not on Earth. Bapuji is saying, definitely, I will explain them in detail. It will take more than 10 hours as I have to explain as per science and scriptures. So, at the beginning, the creation was made of supreme elements only, and there were only Parampurush or Farishtas. The Farishtas who were created from supreme elements had divine light in their soul. So there was no requirement of earth. Fars means earth. Saptarshis created 7 lokas such as Sorgalok, Janalok, Mahalok, Tapalok, etc. Even today, there is no earth element in these upper layers of our Brahmand, but the souls reside there. The body of Parampurush was initially made of supreme elements or Param Tattva like supreme air or Param Vayu, supreme fire or Param Agni, supreme ether or Param Akash. Due to multiple creations, gradually there was loss of power in Parampurush, so their body degenerated to 3 elements. With the passage of time, there was no trace of supreme elements in these 7 layers. Only 3 elements like air, fire, and ether remained in their body. Thus, Parampurush of supreme elements transformed to deities of 3 elements. The body of deities are made of only 3 elements. As the time passed by, the deities also multiplied their creations through their thought power, just as human beings procreate their children. In this way, soul gradually lost their power and degraded, and heaviness crept into the 3 elements of air, fire, and ether. Thus, Faristas multiplied and then degenerated to deities, and deities also multiplied and degenerated to human souls with the body of heavy 5 elements. Ananti is asking, as per our scriptures, Brahma made this whole creation through his power of thought or sankalp. Now, my question is whether Brahma created earth of supreme elements or of 5 elements like air, water, earth, fire, and ether. Bapuji is answering, Brahma created Saptarshis of supreme elements with his sankalp. Initially, Brahmand was made of supreme elements. Gradually, with the passage of time, that is approximately after 10 years of Brahma, the degeneration of supreme elements took place. Then, due to the multiple sankalps and creations, ether, air, and fire elements of the souls became heavy, so they came down from higher planes to lower ones in gradual manner. Anandji is saying, that means there was no earth at the initial stage of creation, but the souls gradually lost their power due to multiple creations. They fell down to lower planes due to heaviness in their elements, and in order to accommodate the downgraded souls, earth was created. Bapuji is saying, earth was created when Brahma was 10 years. Initially, the 5 elements of earth were not as heavy as at present. Earth was made with very light 5 elements to hold the 3 elemental soul who had fallen from higher planes. The souls who landed on earth had very small amount of water and earth content in their 3 elemental body. Initially, the content of water and earth elements of the planet was very less. So, at the initial stage of earth formation, 5 elements were very light. Later on, heaviness gradually crept into the elements. Anandji is saying, so the earth has been existing for 40 years of Brahma. Bapuji is saying, so you can calculate what does 40 years of Brahma means on earth. 1 year of Brahma is 3,110,000,000,000 and 400,000,000 human years. So 40 years of Brahma equals to 124.416 trillion years on earth. So, our Earth was created 124.416 trillion years ago, which a normal human being cannot imagine. Anandji is saying, That means the earth was created to accommodate the falling souls who were once created by Saptarishis. Is that so? Bapuji is saying, initially the higher planes of our Brahmand were created purely with supreme elements and gradually they degraded to three elements. It's a natural process that when the soul performs multiple creations, its power diminishes and hence falls down. Initially, creation was only through the sankalp of the souls. Due to the sankalp, the souls multiplied and the creation expanded and became huge in each seven layers or seven lokas. As the heaviness developed in three elements of the soul, they started to fall down. Then, earth made of comparatively heavier elements than upper layers was created to provide a resting place for these falling souls. In this way, deities became human souls, and when these human souls degraded further, then another seven patal lokas like Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, and Patal were created below earth plane. But the souls degraded further and fell down even below Patal lokas. Hence, 550 million lower planes called Narak or hells were created to punish the degraded souls. In this way, our solar system or Brahmand was created. The distances of various lokas are given in yojan in our scriptures. Anandji is asking, today earth is found to be round, but in scriptures it is written that earth was flat. That's why people have a view that our scriptures are wrong. So, Bapuji, was earth initially flat or round? What was the actual shape? Bapuji is saying, I want to tell you one thing. Initially, there was no sun because the souls themselves were emitting light due to their power. So, there was no requirement of light. But when these souls fell down on earth due to the loss of power, then darkness gradually covered whole earth. Only then the requirement of sun arose to remove darkness on earth. The souls lost their complete power and the light of the soul vanished totally. Thus, the earth was filled with darkness. Anandji is asking, Bapuji, then when did the first human being landed on earth and who was that? Bapuji is answering, it's not like what you are saying now. Human beings did not born as they take birth today. The three elemental deities automatically lost their power. Due to enormous creation, the heaviness developed into them and started taking five elemental body and gradually fell down on lower plane on earth in groups. Hence, multiple groups of human beings in physical form came on earth simultaneously. The souls from upper seven layers of our Brahmand started falling down, so the number of souls arriving on earth was huge. Because our solar system was very big. Our solar system was around 1 light years. At the beginning of the creation, Shivapuri was made for Shiva Shakti by incorporeal Shiva, who resides in supreme abode. Then Vishnupuri was made for Lord Vishnu. Then Brahmapuri was created where Lord Brahma resides. After that, seven lokas were created. These seven lokas were very vast, so you can imagine how big was the creation. Anandji is asking, does that mean human life has been existing on earth for trillions of years? Bapuji is answering, I have already explained that earth was created after 10 years of Brahma. Thus, Human life has been on Earth for 40 years of Brahma. If you calculate the number, it will be 124.4 trillion years on Earth. Anandji is asking, if Earth is in existence for trillions of years, then what is the effect of time above Earth plane? Also, can you kindly mention us about the four yugas on Earth? Once you told us that initially the Sun was rotating around the Earth, whereas at present Earth is rotating around the Sun. Bapuji is saying, as mentioned earlier, up to 10 years of Brahma, there were no Earth and no Sun. When souls on Earth got suppressed under the heaviness of five elements, then they lost all their power, and there was complete darkness on Earth. Then only after that, Sun came into existence. Sun was created by a deity known as Suryanarayan Devta. In the beginning, it was rotating around the earth to provide light to earth only. At that time, the only duty of Sun was to give necessary light to earth, as higher layers or lokas did not require light. So, Earth and Sun both came into existence after approximately 10 years of Brahma, that is, after 31.1 trillion human years. Anandji is saying, Bapuji, that means Earth was not rotating and there was no day and night initially. Bapuji is saying, who can imagine what was Earth like 124 trillion years ago? The spherical shape seen today is only the current one. Anandji is saying, according to science, initially some unicellular life like virus, amoeba came on Earth. Gradually, these unicellular life developed into present multicellular or higher or intelligent creation. But you are explaining the spiritual genesis of life on Earth, where souls came down from higher planes to lower ones, which is contrary to the explanation as per science. Bapuji is saying, I am talking about the reality only. I am talking about the supreme elements, but science is talking about only physical extremities. Till date, scientists have no idea about soul or existence of soul. How can they know about reality? Anandji is saying, yes, that's true, but does that mean initially there were no animals? Bapuji is saying, the human souls in physical form gradually degraded to become animals due to their bad deeds. Anandji is asking, but according to science today, human beings evolved from the animals like monkey, but you are telling us that these animals were not there earlier and they came into existence when human souls degraded further to animals due to their deeds. But at that time, were there 8.4 million types of different life forms then? Bapuji is saying, I will explain how these 8.4 million types of life forms came into existence on Earth. Initially, there were only Faristas, and they gradually degenerated to deities. Deities degenerated to human souls in physical five elemental form on Earth. The souls kept taking human forms for billions of years. In that process, the five elemental body became heavier and heavier. Hence, the souls further degraded into lower planes from Earth. In order to hold these souls with heavier elements, another sphere called Atal was created. Atal Loka was heavier than Earth plane and was capable to hold souls with heavier elements. Similarly, heaviness crept more and more into the souls. Then further lower planes of Bital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal were created to hold them. These lower planes were heavier than the Earth plane. They were around 10 Usan distance apart. These planes were separate planes and different from Earth as they were composed of very heavy elements in comparison to Earth atmosphere. Anandji is saying, but science has not found any trace of such planets or planes with heavier elements which you are saying, such as Atal, Bital, Sutal, Mahatal, etc. But you are saying that they were present earlier. Bapuji is saying, science has developed only in small scale. Modern science has no connection with spiritual science. These heavier planes were there before, but today these heavier planes do not exist. But you can find the asteroids and space rocks moving around inside our solar system. Where did they come from? Anandji is saying, it's true that there are large numbers of asteroids and space rocks rotating in our solar system, detected by the science, and people also believe it. Bapuji is saying, but then how these asteroids came into existence? These heavier physical planes, Atal, Bital, Sutal, and other Patal locus, along with other 550 million naraks or hells, broke into pieces and started moving around the sun in our solar system. Then gradually sun's gravity started increasing. All these happened sequentially in the time scale of our solar system. Initially, our sun was made of supreme elements only, and it used to emit Paramprakash, that is, supreme light. So, at that time, human beings used to receive supreme light from sun. Gradually, human souls also multiplied on earth, and due to their constant negative actions on earth, souls degraded further with heavy elements, then the lower heavier planes like Atal, Bital, Sutal, etc. came into existence. So, gradually with the passage of time, the higher planes of seven lokas, that is, up to Brahmapuri, the supreme elements degraded to three elements. Small percentage of supreme element was left over only in Vishnupuri, Shivapuri and Paramdham. Paramdham, or supreme abode of this Brahmand, is the ultimate source of power for this solar system. All the souls used to connect with incorporeal form of Shiva in supreme abode and drew power from Nirakari Shiva. Thus, power of Paramdham also diminished with time. Anandji is asking, Bapuji, what was the effect on earth due to that, and how many cycles of Yugantar have been completed on earth so far? Bapuji is saying, the four yugas came on effect at the later stage. Initially, supreme light was prevalent on earth, and there were no cycles of four yugas. The effect of four yugas on earth came into existence after another 10 years of Brahma, after the creation of earth, that is, after another 31.1 trillion human years. The activities of human beings on earth and the souls of higher planes gradually influenced the atmosphere on earth, because the collective thoughts of human beings affects the atmosphere on earth, affecting the air element of earth plane, which in turn affects the water element and earth element of the planet. So overall, the influence of negativity on earth impacted human souls at that time, building more negativity inside them. Hence, human souls degraded further, resulting in the creation of 7 lower planes and 550 million hells in order to accommodate them. Subsequently, human souls also degraded to animals due to their negative karma or deeds. In this way, multiple life forms or 8.4 million life forms were created on Earth. Anandji is saying, but someone might have given shape or forms to the animals like cow, goat, etc., isn't it? Bapuji is saying, initially the souls kept thinking on, as they might have desired to create animals. They created animals as per their thoughts, but then later they developed attachment to that animal. Anandji is asking, were the animals created rendering comfort or giving sorrow to humans? It's said that there are very beautiful gardens, birds, flowers, etc. in heaven, which give happiness to the souls residing there. But do they exist in reality? Bapuji is saying, animals were also created in subtle world. There were beautiful birds, animals, rivers and mountains in higher subtle worlds. Initially, all these hills, rivers, etc. were created with pure elements in subtle world. Anandji is asking, Bapuji, you already mentioned about the hells, but was there heaven before the creation of earth? Bapuji is answering, hells were created after Brahma's 20 years. Before creation of earth, there were deities in heaven, so heaven was created before earth. Later, they developed heaviness in their three elemental body made of air, ether, and fire elements and started degrading down to lower planes. And then earth was formed to hold them. But then souls kept degrading due to their actions, so another 7 lower planes, that is Atal, Bital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal, and 550 million naraks or hells were created. So in subtle world there was magnificent creation. There were stunning birds like peacocks. Gradually human beings also created similar birds and animals, but then they got attracted to those creatures and entangled themselves in animal life forms as per law of karma. There is a saying, Antamati Sogati, that is, you will attain what you think of. Anandji is saying, it's said that Lord Vishnu spread this illusion or Maya on earth as he was the protector of the creation. Bapuji is answering, the illusion was not spread by Vishnu, it just came into existence automatically due to degradation of souls. Maya means 5 elements. Maya means mortal world. Maya means physical world. Maya extends up to Brahmapuri. But initially our Brahmand was not like this. There was no illusion or Maya. But in scriptures, Maya word is used frequently to indicate the degradation of supreme elements to these 5 elements. The scriptures were written under the inspiration of souls in Vishnupuri or Shivapuri, as they had full knowledge about how the creation of 5 elements and 3 elements came into existence. Anandji is asking, Bapuji, can you tell us when did the 4 yugas start on earth? Bapuji is answering, the 4 yugas started on earth approximately after 20 to 25 years of Brahma's age. When negativity and wrongdoings got escalated on earth, then cycle of 4 yugas was initiated. The cycle of 4 yugas occur in sequence, starting with Satyayug, then Tretayug, then Dwapar and then Kali Yuga. And at the end of 4 yugas, destruction takes place to cleanse earth from negativity created by sinful souls. Anandji is asking, so Bapuji, was earth destroyed when the mass destruction like Kal Pralay happened? Bapuji is saying, Kal Pralay is the destruction process at the end of Chatur Yuga, and Earth survives in each Kalpralay. A day of Brahma completes 14 Manvantars and Earth still survives. When Manvantar changes, then Manu Srishti changes. Manu is the soul who is sent from higher subtle planes on earth and is created by thought power or Sankalp Sakti of Brahma. So he is also called Manasputra of Brahma. A new Manu replaces the previous one at the end of each Manvantar and proceeds the human creation on earth. Gradually, human souls, through their efforts of meditation and spiritual knowledge, started going to the higher planes, even up to Vaikunt. In this way, creations and changes keep happening in our Brahmand. Anandji is asking, Bapuji, when were our scriptures written? Bapuji is saying, physically, these scriptures were written on papers or preserved in some recorded form only 5,000 years ago. These scriptures were created by Saint Vyas, who was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Before that, all the spiritual knowledge was memorized by spiritual aspirants as they had strong memory power. At that time, sages and saints used to explain spiritual science to their fellow students, and the students could learn the knowledge by heart only through listening. Anandji is asking, were these scriptures created after 10 years of Brahma, that is, after the creation of earth, or before that? Bapuji is saying, Sastra means history of Brahman, the story of Brahma's 50 years. Souls who reside in higher planes like Vishnulok or Shivapuri, they know the detailed history of creation. They know how the changes took place in subtle planes and on earth. Anandji is asking, when there is already recording on the soul, then why does it forget after taking human form? Bapuji is answering, it's because soul gets shielded in multiple layers. First, the layer of supreme ether covers the soul, then supreme air and supreme fire. After that, soul is covered by physical elements of air, fire and ether. Anandji is asking, Bapuji, the layers you mentioned, is it same for all human souls? Bapuji is saying, every human soul has different layers. Today, there are different categories of souls on earth who have come from far away, like different galaxies, universes, multiverses, and some beyond multiverse, who are high quality souls. There are some very high quality souls called Behad souls who are made from supreme light or Paramprakash. Even with Behad souls, there are different varieties according to the degree of power within them. Most of the souls on earth are made from only ether element, so they don't have power to acquire supreme knowledge and hence remain indulged in illusionary world. Anandji is saying, Bapuji, we will make video on different categories of souls separately, but for now we want to know how many cycles of 4 yugas have been completed on earth so far, and which cycle of 4 yuga is currently running. Bapuji is saying, I have already mentioned that cycle of 4 yugas started on earth after Brahma's 20 years. So the cycle of Chaturyuga has been repeating on earth for 30 years of Brahma. In terms of human years on earth, 30 years of Brahma is equivalent to 93.3 trillion years. So, you can calculate how many Chaturyugas have been completed on earth. Anandji is saying, now I am clear about the time cycle on earth. Numerous yugas have already been elapsed on earth, but still human beings could not understand the fact that they have been trapped in the cycle of time from the time immemorial. Science has put forward only imaginary theory, but the knowledge and information shared by you is only from the experience and visualization through your divine eye in deep meditation, and is the ultimate truth of creation. Bapuji, we will be discussing remaining questions on this topic in part 2 of this video. Thank you, Bapuji and Paramshanti. Dear viewers, the link of original Hindi video is given in the description box below. You can also like and share our videos and subscribe our channel. Let the infinite peace prevail. Paramshanti.